What is up, everybody? Patty Schnee here again today, back at it again with another video. And today I'm going to be reviewing Red's latest single, From the Ashes. To tell you the truth, the announcement of this single kind of caught me off guard because I was not expecting Red to release another single this close after releasing The Evening Hate. The reason I was not expecting that to happen is because Red has been kind of iffy on whether they're actually releasing a full album. In past interviews, Randy Armstrong has been talking about how since they're being crowdfunded, the future of the band is not entirely certain. What they're doing right now is just kind of releasing singles. So I thought they were just kind of working on, The Evening Hate, and they made that single, they released it, and then they're going to work on another song, make that, and release it, just kind of do it that way. But no, they've definitely been looking ahead, and I'm super excited for that because I want more Red music. I think the idea of the fact that Red is going to release a full album in the upcoming months, there's a pretty big chance of it because the fact that they released 2 singles just seems like, a lead up to an album. And I know Randy has said in interviews that he's definitely down to make a totally new album. So I'm super excited for that. So when I first heard that this song was going to be called From the Ashes, I got the vibe that it was going to be kind of a ballad song that Red does. One of my favorite song of all time is Pieces, and it's a ballad by Red. So I was kind of hoping it would be kind of like that. Now, we didn't exactly get that, but what we did get blew my expectations out of the water completely. I'm just going to go on record to say I absolutely love this song, and I think it does Red justice. They definitely returned to the sound that I fell in love with from the beginning from Red. That cinematic, symphonic, hard rock kind of sound, and I just can't get over it. Now, we didn't get a ballad from Red, but what we did get was kind of a ballad, hard rock, hybrid. That's the word I'm trying to think of. A ballad, hard rock hybrid from Red. Kind of makes me think of songs like, I'm totally blanking here, but there's a song on Until We Had Faces that, Buried Beneath. Makes me think of that song, Buried Beneath. It's kind of a hard rock, kind of ballad hybrid, and that's what they do here with From the Ashes, and I'm super excited with that. Actually, speaking of Until We Had Faces, there are a lot of parts in this song that remind me of very many different songs from the album Until We Have Faces. Just to name a few, the intro riff sounds a lot like Watch You Crawl from Until We Have Faces. I absolutely love that song. And if you listen to them side by side, you can tell they sound very similar. I don't want to say exactly alike, but they're really close. I do think From the Ashes definitely takes it a step further. It makes it more original to make it a totally new song. But I guess one of my critiques would be is that it does sound pretty close to that song. Another song that I stated, it sounds like Buried Beneath as well. Not necessarily the melody or anything, but just the idea of the song, it being kind of a hybrid, it being kind of a motivational song. I think Buried Beneath is a very motivationally sounding song. And the last one would be Hymn for the Missing. It uses violins in the ending that really remind me of that outro of Hymn for the Missing. And that is a good thing. I don't think Red really rips off any of the melodies from their Until We Have Faces songs, except for maybe Watch You Crawl, a tiny bit, but I mean, that's something I can overlook kind of because Breaking Benjamin has done that before too. They've kind of ripped off Watch You Crawl with, is it maybe Buried Alive from their Dark Before Dawn album, but if you listen to that song, it sounds very close to Watch You Crawl, as well as lyrically it sounds very close to Watch You Crawl as well. So I don't know. Red can use elements of their past in their new music. I'm fine with that. Now, like I said, this song is quite a bit of a hybrid. And one thing that I absolutely love about this song is that it's a very positive, hopeful message. This is probably one of the most inspiring Red songs I've ever heard. And that's that's a crazy thing to say because Red has quite a few inspiring songs. But lately, Red has been kind of into, darker lyrical themes. And while that has its place, and Of Beauty and Rage, an amazing album, and it sounds so great. But I do get a little tired and bogged down sometimes when Red goes for the dramatic, hard, very deep lyrical content that's very, kind of depressing sounding. But, in the end of the album Of Beauty and Rage, it's very hopeful, of course. But I get kind of bogged down with that idea. So it's great that Red has this song that is just so beautifully inspiring. And one thing that the song blends together very well is the idea of beauty and rage, the idea of chaos and beauty, and overcoming suffering to live another day. That is kind of a theme of music that I never get tired of. And certain bands do it well, certain bands don't. I can think of a good example, maybe Skillet just now. They released a full new album, and I'm going to give you guys a review of that. The next video I'm going to do is going to be a review of that album. But their song Rise Up, it uses that same lyrical theme, but it's a lot more recycled, and the lyrics aren't as deep. And it just doesn't work. But here, Red uses that same idea. The whole chorus is, we live, we die, we fall, we rise. Yet the instrumentation and the whole theme of the song breathe fresh life into that entire idea. And Red is so great at doing that. I can think of the song Still Alive by Red, where they use such simple lyrics, but the theme is so powerful. The theme in Still Alive is, despite all this, I'm still alive. Despite the fact that, what's it all for? What's the meaning of life? I'm here. I'm still alive. There's got to be some reason I'm here, is what that song kind of gets to. And this song is, we live, we die, we fall, we rise. One of the most inspiring hooks I've ever heard from Red. Now, as a good critiquer of music, I cannot just sit here and praise this song, this entire review. I need to give it a few critiques, a few hard-hitting critiques. We need to put this song through the fire, as it were, and see if it rises from the ashes. Now, one of the first critiques I have is that this song is very similar to the structure that Red uses all the time, as well as the structure of The Evening Hate. I've been a little iffy on whether this song is better than The Evening Hate, due to the sole fact that The Evening Hate and this song pretty much have the exact same structure. You have that slow intro, and then you have that hard-hitting riff at the beginning. You go into the verse, and then you have the chorus, and then you have the hard-hitting riff again. You go into the verse, you have the chorus. Then you either have a breakdown or you have a build-up to a scream. Sometimes you have both. And then it just goes crazy. And then it goes back into the chorus, and then it fades out with beautiful strings. To tell you the truth, I don't get tired of that structure, but it is a big critique of this song, and one thing they could have done is kind of mixed it up a little bit. However, like I said, I don't get tired of Michael Barnes' screams, and when it builds up to a classic Michael Barnes scream, I just can't get over it. So that's definitely a big critique of this song, is that the structure is similar to The Evening Hate, as well as songs like Death of Me, Watch You Crawl. It's similar to that structure even. So that's one big critique. The other is, like I said, it kind of rips off Watch You Crawl, just a little bit. Third critique that I've been hearing circulating, which is not necessarily my critique, but I'll adopt it a little bit, is people have been saying that the song clips a little bit in the production and the mixing. If you don't know what clipping is, it's, when you're producing a song, you have a bunch of different tracks going. You have the guitar, the drums, the bass, you have it all going. And when one stops, you want to make it so that it fades into the entire the entire song, and it doesn't sound like it just abruptly stops. And clipping is when it just abruptly stops. And I've been hearing a lot of people critiquing the idea that this song has a lot of clipping in it. And so I was trying to listen to it to hear it, and they're right. It does have a little bit of clipping in it, but I don't think it's devastation to the song overall, like at all. In fact, it's barely noticeable. There could have been measures taken to just kind of fade certain parts in a little bit better, but I still think it works. Like, that's a big critique, but it's still not that huge of a critique. And then the last critique I would have is that the lyrics are kind of simple, and as well as Michael Barnes' pronunciation still isn't amazing. It's definitely way better than The Evening Hate, but this is a song where if you want to get the lyrics, you have to look them up in order to understand what they are. So those are my biggest critiques of this song, and as you can see, this song still survives those critiques. I think this song is definitely a great song for a follow-up of The Evening Hate. Thematically, lyrically, it works. You have The Evening Hate, which is a war, chaotic, rage kind of song. And then you have this song, which is a beautiful, like, hardcore, rising up, never backing down, rising from the ashes kind of song. And I love it. I honestly want to give this song a 9 out of 10, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm giving this song a 9 out of 10. I believe it deserves it. Red deserves so much more recognition for the music they put out. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button for more content like this coming soon. I do album reviews, I do covers of songs. If you have ideas for covers you want me to do, put it down in the comments below, as well as put your thoughts on this single down in the comments below. I'd love to discuss it with you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you later. Peace out.